Parents today suck.
Gives me a fucking hard on. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm looking for my wife. It ain't easy looking this good.
So I control if I want to escape on those, or vice versa, I'll get on top. So that's realistic. But starting on the knees is neither here nor there, right?
Absolutely.
However, and it saves some injury. I'll be honest with you. Like wrestling and stand-up is prone to injury.
Hard on the body, man.
Yes, it is very hard.
Especially as you get older. Yeah.
Especially if you get older. Of course, there is ways to reduce injury, like train under a good coach, have crash pads. Practice with caution, always warm up, practice your break falls, yada, yada, yada. But in the end of the day, it is much more harder and much more dangerous than pure jiu-jitsu. However, like I said, if you start top and bottom, you can accept you're already there. But all matches, even if you decide to pull guard right off the bat, all matches start from standing. So if I pull guard, the dynamics of getting to the mat are different. If we start top and bottom, there's like a certain static quality to that position,
Sure.
It's different. But when I pull guard, somebody can pass on the fly, somebody can knee block you or whatever. So even if you decide not to wrestle but pull guard, it's still different once you start standing.
It's live scenarios.
The life
is what you're doing.
Exactly. So like there is merit to start, on the ground, top and bottom. But like once in a while, everybody should be starting from neutral standing position, even if you're not intending to wrestle, because that will represent true dynamic of the match.
And it also correlates to both real world situations as well as jiu-jitsu matches.
Let's say there's a purple belt who's 50 years old and he has a mortgage, he only trains 3 times a day, he's got a couple kids, his priorities are different than a 21-year-old.
Of course.
And their jiu-jitsu is totally different because the 21-year-old's there, 6 times a day. So for a blue belt, a 21-year-old blue belt, to compare himself to that 50-year-old purple belt and be like, that was me, that's how I was,
Right,
and I always thought like, if I tapped someone, my jiu-jitsu has completely changed me as a person, and the way that I think, because back when I was 18, 19, 20 and like this little rowdy kid, punk, like if I tapped someone, I'd be like, then I need that belt, what I mean? Like in my head, that's how I would justify it, and that's not it at all. And so
The journey's relative.
Exactly. So what you say is like some of these guys, they'll get a black belt and they've never put on a gi, but it's because maybe they rolled with a black belt and they tap them, and maybe that teacher, because this happens too, maybe that teacher's like, I'll justify him beating me by giving him
the same ranks, I don't feel so bad.
Exactly,
I mean, and they're weak of character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, how many times I'm a black belt, the job is for my students to catch me.
Yeah.
And if they catch me, I'm happy because I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah,
right?
teaching them.
So I'm teaching them, and then, I always tell everybody, you come after me, you're supposed to come after me. It's my job. This kumbaya mentality of, one day you're a man, one day you're a woman, one day you're a tree, one day you're a rock.
Yeah.
I don't care what you want to do. It doesn't live in the Seattle house. In the Seattle world, and that doesn't live in the Shea world.
Right.
We live in bubbles.
Marge, this towel feels so soft, and I just shaved.
We live in a fucking bubble. We probably
It's
could live
1950 in our house.
Exactly.
That's
We
the
live
reality.
in a fucking bubble.
But they got no problem saying, hey, I want some balls on my chin.
What a pair they're going to make.
Nancy from New Rochelle. She says, both you guys are so politically offensive, I can't watch you because you upset me, but I can't turn off the channel. Why are you guys like that? You're a bunch of Neanderthals. When are you going to evolve and become more sensitive men?
Well, it's not going to happen. I mean, so we always said there's no political correctness on the show. Yeah. Period. If you don't like truth, then don't watch. If you don't want to be entertained, then don't watch. If you don't want to see a perspective of some old school guys in the room, don't watch. So we're not going to.
Here's the other thing too.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of us Neanderthals out there, okay? But guess what? We're just not. Our balls just aren't neutered.
That's it.
We're letting them hang out for everybody to see.
Right.
That's the reality. If you don't like it, then don't watch. But it's almost like a car accident. You don't want to look, but like when
You can't help but
look. And hey, if that's the case, maybe you'll learn something, and maybe you'll see. You know what? We're really not that much of Neanderthals. I think if you ask our wives, last time I carried my wife by her hair over my back, that was something totally different.
Was never.
Maybe I was never.
Yeah.
But no, seriously. The reality is this: there's a bunch of men out there, and I think they're just afraid to express what they really feel because they're afraid by society.
Yeah.
All I've heard is nothing but bad things. He's a He's a punk.
I mean, we are the
And if we're a dying breed, then we're a dying breed. And guess what? I'm going to die this way because this is how I was raised. And I think my parents did a good job raising me. I think your parents did a good job raising you. And guess what? They were Neanderthals also.
So, expand on that a little bit.
It's hard for people to adapt that into their mindset for
Right.
game. Like you
Too comfortable.
have to find comfort in the uncomfortable, and you have to be okay with that. It's you can't tell people to do this. They have to want to do it.
Yeah.
I've said this over and over and over again, but people are like, no, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want to stay in my zone where I'm comfortable and where I'm the
Strong one, sure. Big fish in a small pond.
Exactly, and they're okay with that. They're okay with that, which is fine, completely fine. But if you want to elevate your game, if you want to be better than you were the day before, and you don't care how you get there, if losing is going to make you better in the long run,
Why not lose?
then get there. I'm 22-8, but like those 8 losses, they're all close fights. They're all against really, really good competition, and I'm at where I'm at because I took those hard fights. I've had 30 fights, and it took me 30 fights to get to the UFC, but I'm here, and I'm totally cool with that. So when people say, "What's your record?" I go 22-8. They're like, "That's really good. That's really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, look at other people in the UFC," and they're like, "And you're in the UFC. Clearly, he's doing something right."
100%.
Everything I've ever wanted in my life, I've gotten one way or another.
Good for you.
Not always when I wanted it, but when I'm driven to the point where I say I'm going to do something, like there's no stopping me.
And that's the best part about it is that you just made that conscious decision to do it, and you're going to go through the process. And I think that's where, no matter what it is in life, that it's the process. So you started training, and in the last year, so you fought how many times in the last year?
3.
3 times, and the third time was winning the title.
Yep.
Correct. So now your aspirations are obviously that I'm part of your career. So we want to, you just put the professional avenues where we want to go now. So
No, absolutely. I just I'm ready for that next step. I want to see where it's going to go. And just the women's flyweight division, it's new in the UFC. There's not a lot of depth there, so I could see.
So that's ultimately where you want to be, is the UFC.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
I just want to spend my time training jiu-jitsu, training MMA, doing the things I love every day, and making money and a living doing it.
And the best part is you looked at those other women out there and said, I can do that. You're like, I can do that. I can compete with them. I can beat them. Whatever the case may be.
You're just a collegiate athlete.
Yeah.
You just have that competitive mindset.
In a humble aspect, you looked and said, hey, I can do that. I'm born to do this, Parents today suck. There's no parenting going on today. You parents out there that allow this shit, you're fucking horrible. It's a form of child abuse. Take your liberal bullshit and shove it up your ass. Because guess what? You're loud, but
I don't disagree.
Because you're poisoning the fucking world. You're poisoning America. And when it affects my family, that's why I'm so adamant about it. That's like now I'm getting mildly aggressive about it because guess what? I will fucking attack you. Because if you think it's going to come near my family and my home, I will put you in your place immediately. And the fact of the matter...
I'm prejudiced. I hate everybody equally, okay? Watch that. How about you? I don't like you. I don't like people. You know who I like? I like animals. I like my dogs. That's about it. And my dogs aren't nice either. Okay? But the reality is... Yeah, they're not. Okay? They'll bite you if you come on my property. There's a heads up, so there's my legal disclaimer.
I wouldn't even get out of my truck to go to his property. So, There's no
and here's the worst part. My female dog's trying to transition to a male dog because she wants to kill everything. And my male dog's like, listen, chill out a little bit, okay?
Exactly.
They're just walking down the street. You don't got to go crazy.
Exactly.
As kids, we spent a lot of time with our parents, right?
Right.
My mother didn't work much, so she was in the house, and she basically raised us, and how they wanted it done,
That's right.
And a few times somebody had to get a beat, and that's the way it went.
Times we just earned a beat.
Oh,
Let's just be honest. Because think about how much stuff we got away with that we didn't get beat. I should have been beaten so much that I should be walking with a limp.
You do limp a lot.
I got bad knees. I got bad knees.
When you used the term beating, it wasn't beating.
No,
it was discipline.
no.
It was discipline.
We called it that.
It was discipline.
But
For God's
you're
sakes, the
absolutely
cops will whoop your ass.
Hell yeah.
And because they knew. And
they didn't want to ruin your life either.
Cops
Like
grabbed
putting
you
you
by
in
your
jail.
fucking ear, ran you and put you in the car and take you home.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not there beating you. You're fucking. Hey, guess what? Nothing is worse than the police bringing you to your house and
going, here you go.
And trust me, half the time the cop gets out, winks at your father or mother, and he amps it up by 10. You don't know the difference. You find out later on, but that changed you. You know what? You don't mess. Like even with my son, He knows I know all of them.
Right.
And I go, just so you know, it's 1980. They have the right to whoop your ass and put you in the trunk and then bring you home and then open it so I can watch you as we open it and we look at you, you're in the fucking trunk. Because that's my own personal agreement with those cops in the area. They know who you are and they know what the standard is. You're wrong, they're not. And they're going to enforce that so that, hey, you turn out okay.
Yeah.
And that's...
It's like the Scared Straight program.
Yeah, the society, the thing we're talking about society, that's the problem. The village is not together.